Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Jack.
And I'm Elena. We're so happy to be here with you today.
Yes, today we're going to talk about something very important, learning English for school and university. Many students around the world need English for their studies. Maybe you are learning English to understand your school subjects, or maybe you need English for university to read books, write essays, or give presentations.
That's right. English is used in many schools and universities, especially for subjects like science, business, and technology. Some universities even teach all their classes in English. So, if you want to succeed in school or university, learning English is a big advantage.
Exactly. But learning English for school is not the same as learning English for daily life. At school, you need to understand difficult words, write formal essays, and listen to long lectures.
Yes, and sometimes teachers use academic language, which is different from the English we use in everyday conversations. For example, in daily life, we say, "I think this is good," but in school, we might say, "This has a positive impact."
That's a great example. So, students need to learn academic words and phrases. Also, they need to improve their reading skills because school textbooks and university articles have long and complicated sentences.
And don't forget about writing in school and university. Writing is very important. Students write essays, reports, and even research papers. They need to organize their ideas, use correct grammar, and write in a clear way.
Yes, and speaking is important too. In school, students may have to give presentations or join discussions. Some students feel nervous when they speak in English, but the more they practice, the better they become.
That's true. Listening is also a big challenge. In university, professors talk fast, and they don't always repeat things. Students must practice listening to understand lectures and take notes.
So, we can see that English for school and university is not just about knowing words. It's about reading, writing, listening, and speaking in a formal way.
Right, but don't worry. If you are learning English for school or university, there are many ways to improve. You can read books in English, watch educational videos, and practice writing every day.
And of course, listening to podcasts like this one helps too.
Yes, listening to English podcasts, watching lectures, and practicing with friends can really help. Another great way to improve is by learning new words. When students read textbooks or listen to lectures, they often see or hear difficult words. If they don't understand these words, it can be hard to follow the lesson.
That's true. A good habit is to write down new words and their meanings. Students can keep a notebook or use an app to save these words. Then, they can review them later and try using them in sentences.
Yes, and using the words in writing or speaking is very important. Sometimes students memorize words but don't practice using them. If they don't use the words, they might forget them quickly.
Exactly. Another way to improve is by reading different types of texts. School and university students read textbooks, research papers, and articles. Each type of text has a different style. Reading a variety of texts helps students get used to different ways of writing.
That's a great point. Also, students should learn to find the main idea in a text. In school, they often have to read long passages, but they don't need to remember every single word. They need to focus on the most important information.
Yes, and one way to do that is by taking notes. When reading or listening to a lecture, students can write down key points. This helps them remember information and makes studying easier later.
That's a smart strategy. Speaking of studying, another challenge for students is writing assignments. Some students feel confident speaking English, but writing in English is more difficult because they need to use formal language and structure their ideas clearly.
Right. In school, students write essays and reports. In university, they write research papers and presentations. These assignments require planning. Before writing, it's good to make an outline. An outline helps students organize their ideas before they start writing.
And when they finish writing, they should always check their work. Many students make grammar mistakes or small errors, and reviewing their work helps them improve. If possible, they can ask a teacher or a friend to read their writing and give feedback.
That's a great idea. Improving English for school and university takes time, but with practice and good study habits, students can make great progress.
Yes, progress comes with practice, and students should not feel discouraged if they make mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. In fact, many students feel shy about speaking or writing in English because they are afraid of making errors. But the best way to improve is to try, even if it's not perfect.
That's so true. Confidence is very important. When students believe in themselves, they can communicate better. And in school or university, communication is key. They need to ask questions, share their opinions, and work with classmates.
Exactly, group work and discussions are common in many schools and universities. In these situations, students should practice explaining their ideas clearly. If they don't know a word, they can try to describe what they mean in a different way.
That's a useful skill. Another challenge for students is understanding different accents. Professors and classmates may speak English with different accents, which can be difficult to follow at first.
Yes, but students can train their ears by listening to different English speakers. Watching videos, listening to podcasts, or even talking to people from different countries can help them get used to different accents.
That's a great tip. Another way to improve is by using English outside of the classroom. If students only use English in class, it will take longer to improve. But if they read books, watch movies, or even think in English, they will learn much faster.
Thinking in English is a great habit. Instead of translating words from their native language, students can try forming sentences directly in English. This helps them become more fluent over time.
Yes, and speaking regularly is important too. Some students don't have many chances to speak English in their daily lives, but they can still practice. They can talk to themselves, record their voice, or join online language exchange groups.
That's a great idea. And when students practice speaking, they should focus on pronunciation too. Speaking clearly helps others understand them better. They don't need a perfect accent, but correct pronunciation makes communication easier.
Yes, and if they're not sure how to pronounce a word, they can use online dictionaries to listen to the correct pronunciation. There are also apps that help with pronunciation practice.
With all these strategies, students can become more confident in using English for school and university.
Confidence is really the key. When students feel comfortable using English, everything becomes easier reading, writing, listening, and speaking. But one more important skill for school and university is understanding instructions.
That's right. In school, teachers give assignments with specific instructions. In university, professors expect students to follow guidelines carefully. If students don't understand the instructions, they might do the wrong task.
Exactly. So, a good habit is to read instructions slowly and carefully. If students don't understand something, they should ask the teacher or check a dictionary for difficult words.
Yes, and this is also important for exams. Many students lose points because they don't understand the question correctly. They should take their time to read the question before answering.
That's a great point. Exams can be stressful, especially when they include writing or speaking tests. But with practice, students can improve their test-taking skills.
One helpful tip for writing tests is to plan before writing. Some students start writing immediately, but taking a few minutes to organize their ideas can make a big difference.
And for speaking tests, students should stay calm and speak clearly. It's okay to take a second to think before answering. They don't need to rush.
That's true. Also, during a test or in class discussions, students should try to speak in full sentences. Instead of saying just one word, they should explain their ideas as much as possible.
That's a great habit. And speaking of habits, students can improve faster if they set learning goals. For example, they can decide to learn 5 new words each day or practice writing for 10 minutes daily.
Yes, small daily habits help a lot. Learning a language takes time, so students should be patient with themselves. Even if they feel like they are not improving, they are making progress every day.
Exactly. The most important thing is to keep practicing and stay motivated.
Yes, staying motivated is so important. Learning English for school and university may feel difficult sometimes, but every step forward is progress. The more students practice, the more confident they will become.
That's true. And we've talked about so many useful tips like reading carefully, listening to different accents, practicing writing, and speaking in full sentences. These small habits can really help students succeed in their studies.
Absolutely. Let's quickly summarize what we've discussed. We talked about the importance of learning new words, taking notes, and practicing speaking and writing. We also discussed how to understand different accents, follow instructions, and prepare for exams. And most importantly, we encourage students to be confident and keep practicing.
That's a great summary. Now, before we finish, let's go over some key words we used in our conversation.
The first word is confidence. Confidence means believing in yourself and your abilities. Example: speaking English with confidence helps you communicate better.
Next is fluency. Fluency means speaking a language easily and smoothly. Example: practicing every day will help you improve your fluency in English.
Another word is pronunciation. Pronunciation is the way we say words. Example: listening to native speakers can help you improve your pronunciation.
We also talked about instructions. Instructions are directions or explanations for doing something. Example: before starting an assignment, always read the instructions carefully.
A useful word is accents. An accent is the way someone speaks, depending on their country or region. Example: English speakers from different countries have different accents.
Another word is assignments. Assignments are tasks or homework given by teachers. Example: I need to finish my English assignment by tomorrow.
We also mentioned progress. Progress means improvement over time. Example: if you practice English every day, you will make progress.
And the last word is motivation. Motivation is the desire or reason to do something. Example: watching English movies can give you motivation to learn more.
Those are some great words to remember. We hope this podcast has helped you feel more confident about using English for school and university.
Yes! Keep practicing, stay patient, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. The more you use English, the better you will become.
And if you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to leave a comment, and share it with your friends and family.
Also, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future episodes.
Thank you so much for listening. Keep learning and have a great day.
Goodbye, and see you next time.